All right, let's jump right into this. Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating diagnostic tool. It's designed to tackle one of the biggest headaches in business, unpredictable growth. And it's called the Revenue Clarity Audit.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not that people aren't working hard. Of course they are. Teams are putting in the hours, they're giving it their all. But without a clear direction, a real map, all that energy kind of gets wasted, and that's when you hit a wall. And that leads to the million-dollar question, right? It's the thing that keeps founders and leaders up at night. You've got a fantastic product, a killer team, but getting consistent revenue feels more like a lottery than a science. So why is it so incredibly tough to build a system that you can actually count on to scale? Well, the answer really begins when you look at the flip side, the massive cost of not having that system. You see, flying blind has real, painful consequences. Let's dig into what actually happens when a business is just guessing. Okay, so this is the absolute core of the problem, this battle between noise and data. The noise? That's all the chatter. It's the daily flood of conflicting opinions, metrics that look good but don't really mean anything, and just plain old gut feelings. But the data, that's the mathematical reality of your business. And when you make decisions based on the noise, you're pretty much flying blind. And that's exactly when growth just grinds to a halt.
And check this out. This visualizes the problem so well. Over on the left, you've got all the symptoms that everyone recognizes. You're spending way too much money to get new customers. You're hiring people to patch leaks instead of fixing the pipe. Or maybe you're just celebrating being busy instead of being effective. But look to the right. The root cause for every single one of those problems, it's the exact same thing, a fundamental lack of clarity.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? Every single decision you make inside that fog of uncertainty, it costs you. It costs you money, it costs you time, and it costs you opportunity. This isn't some abstract philosophical problem. It's literally money going out the door. Okay, so if the big villain in our story is a lack of clarity, then the hero has to be a system that's built specifically to create it. It's as simple as that. So what exactly is this audit? Think of it like a full-body physical for your company's revenue engine. It's a super focused, 2-week deep dive that looks at the 5 key pillars of your business. How you get demand, how you price things, how you convert customers, how you keep them, and how you forecast the future. This is not some fluffy consulting gig. It's a systematic look at the math that makes your business tick. And here's the best part. You walk away with 3 very real, very tangible things. You get a report that shows you exactly where the leaks are. You get a gap map, which is basically a picture showing where you are now versus where you need to be. And most importantly, you get a 30-day action plan, a literal blueprint for what to do next. Now you might be thinking, 2 weeks? How on earth do they get all of that done in just 2 weeks? It's a fair question. So let's break down the process and see how the sausage is made. It's actually super straightforward. The whole thing is split into 2 clean phases. Week 1, it's all about gathering the raw materials, getting all that data. Week 2, that's when the magic happens. That's when you turn all those raw numbers into an actual strategic plan.
So during that first week, the focus is on pulling real hard data straight from your systems, your CRM, your analytics, you name it. Then that data gets benchmarked against industry standards to see how you stack up. And get this, the source says they use these automated clarity bots to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Think of them as smart little programs that can sift through years of data in minutes, spotting patterns and red flags a human might take weeks to find.
Then, in week 2, all that captured data gets plugged into this really powerful modeling tool called the quantum revenue algorithm. And here's the really cool part. This isn't just about looking backwards at what happened. It's about modeling what could happen. It's designed to answer all those what-if questions, like, hey, if we pump 10% more into ads, what's the most likely outcome? It's all about replacing "I feel like" with "the data shows the probability is." When you take all of this data and all of this analysis, it leads to a massive shift in how you think. You stop just hoping for growth and you start actually engineering it. I absolutely love this concept. It's about turning your revenue from a good story into a solid formula. You know, a narrative is when you say, oh yeah, our marketing is crushing it. But a model is when you can say, we know for a fact that for every dollar we put into this channel, we get $3 back with a conversion rate of Z%. It's about replacing storytelling with cold, hard math. And when you make that switch, the outcomes are huge. You know exactly what lever to pull and in what order to get the biggest bang for your buck. You finally see your business as one interconnected system,
not just a bunch of separate departments. You get a roadmap that's backed by math, not wishful thinking. And maybe the biggest one of all, you finally stop the endless debates and meetings that are based on opinions, and instead, you just look at the data.
It all starts with this one simple thing. For the very first time, you get total visibility. You can actually see the entire machine, how all the gears and levers connect and work together.
And once you can see the system, you can finally control it. You're not just a passenger reacting to whatever happens. You're in the driver's seat, pulling the levers, and you can be confident about what the result is going to be.
And finally, once you can control it, well, that's when you can truly scale it. And that's the holy grail, isn't it? Growth that's predictable and efficient, without all the chaos and guesswork.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway here. This isn't a one-and-done fix. The benefits just keep growing. Every clear, data-driven decision you make builds on the last one. It creates this amazing cycle of improvement. Clarity itself becomes your most valuable, compounding asset.
So I'll just leave you with this one crucial question to think about. When it comes to your own business, are you running on a really good story, or are you running on a solid mathematical model? Because honestly, the answer to that question could determine everything.